right, so this one, again, same progression, and this time we're going to start up higher, right? And a great place to do that is where there is a C, D, right? These are the E shapes of the chords, right? And then we have our E minor here. Okay, so the cool thing is the E minor and the C share both of those notes. So just these three notes hit both the C chord, the D chord, and then the E chord. Can't beat that with a stick, right? So you got... So I'm going to go in on the 9th fret, G, 8B, 9, right? So we got... And then catch that D. Right? So that's just... And then I come back to catch the E. Now since the E lasts twice as long, we can come up to a new lick. Right? So I'm going to slide from 10 to 12 on the B. Right? Got an E up here. Right? Third of the E chord. And then... Right? And by that point, we're coming back around to the C chord. Which again... Right? So we got... And then I have this A minor chord coming up. Okay, so... Now on the A minor chord, I have an A minor right here. Now A minor and C also share a lot of the same notes, so you can get away with playing some of the notes from a C, some of the notes from an A. Also playing one of the notes out of that D, right? And that gets us back to our E, which we've already kind of established here too, right? So, and you're spending some time on these notes, so really try to get some vibrato in there. Let's see. Slide in, and then I tuck my pinky under. Okay, so we got. Now this next lick. Is all over the E chord, right? And again, we have our E minor chord right here, right? So we've started here and we're working our way down, right? We started here with the C, D, E, okay? Then we had the C, A minor, and then the E, right? So see how the cage system really comes into play, because I can pick any spot on the fretboard and I see the chords of the progression and I know what notes to hit. I don't have to guess. I mean, you know, can I do this right off the spot, you know, like coming up? Yeah, I mean, pretty good. But if I sit and work with something, I like to write, you know, I can improvise and do all that stuff. Like I love improvising. I love playing in a band and getting up there and just winging it, but I also really love trying to craft melodic solos. And when you can see these chord tones, right, and these caged shapes, it helps you to become so much more melodic. And that definitely bleeds over into your own improvising, right? Because then you start to see them. You're like, oh my gosh, there's those, on the fly. You can start to like really see that stuff. And especially like we're doing like you're chilling on the chord for a while. So I can think to myself, C, D, E. So even if on the fly I can only visualize, those 3 chords in one spot, who cares, right? If I'm, especially, most solos these days are like this long. So, or sit on a note until your brain can say, oh yeah, C, right? And then you got A minor, or C, A minor, right? And then you can go back to E here. A minor here. E. Right, so it's options. That's what the CAGED system does. It helps you visualize exactly the notes you need to hit, but it also gives you a system to just kind of see that inside your scale, and that's freaking just magic. Okay, so you got now I slide in. This one, I've been working on this a lot, and I noticed this watching 2 people especially, Tim Pierce, and there's a guy in Nashville named Jack Pearson who, serious to goodness, is one of the most, it's like a religious experience going to watch this guy play guitar, but he never loses connection with the notes, and there's no like gaps in his phrasing unless he wants them to be perfect, but or placed in a certain spot. But it's so fluid because he doesn't ever lose the connection with the string and mute out notes before the very last second before he changes notes, right? And so on this one, try to keep it barred. Right? Right, because if you let it up, then it starts to sound kind of choppy, and we want everything to run together, right? So that's the first part. So we're going to slide in from 2 to 4. And then I'm going to hybrid pick. So I go 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3. And then I jump down to the G note, right? And then I come back up. Okay, so I do a pull off and then back. So always try to keep that connection. You can tell right when I hit that last one, it cut off a little bit, right? And you really hear it. It sounds so much more fluid when you can get them all down. Right? So it's something I've been really working on lately because it's like, right, that's why those guys sound so fluid. There's no like hiccup. There's no like cutting off prematurely of the note, and it makes such a big difference, especially when you start moving around. The difference it makes making a player sound, you know, pretty legit to super legit and super fluid is that connectivity with the string. So really try to work on that. Even if you have to bar the notes, and try to get good with muting with this hand, right? Because then you can cut off the notes you need to, and you can really take your time and let those notes ring out as long as humanly possible. Okay, so, whew, here we go. And then I come into another one of those climbing licks. This is my spot here at my jam. 3 to 4. So I'm just coming on in. I slide in from 5 to 7. And I go 5 to 7. And then 5, 7, roll over. Slow slide here. A lot of times I'll go, you know, that one note slide, but this one's a 2-noter. Right? And that's 7 to 9 on the D, so we got it. And then carry on the pattern. And I want both those notes to ring. See, that's that same pattern. You're going down, roll over, shift, roll over, roll over, right? And then I go, same note, right? And that's where it comes up to the B part. And that's where I'm going to do this kind of climb. So I'm going to... This is in position 2, right? So, when I do this, there's that note from the B, right? And now I'm going into position 3. So 2 into 3. Right, climbing up. And this gets us into the B up here. Okay, so we got... Right? And then I go. Okay, and that's 17, 19, 17, 20, bend up on 19. And that gets us back into the E, right? And then our tried and true double stop bend leg, pull off, resolve, right? So, and then, so we've hit it all over the place, right? We started here. Then we went. Then after that, we did this. And then we went back to C. Basically, we... And then back to... right? We climbed all the way up here too and hit some notes, but you know I'm not even gonna try to make the chords up there. It doesn't work, especially on a Strat. Now maybe if I had like a 42 fret hammer like back in the day that was like lipstick sparkle colored, maybe I could access the 50 or Uli Roth. Oh, that's another guy. I don't know if I've mentioned him in this course or not. Uli Roth. He sings like freaking Yoda. Like somebody with as much musical talent as he has, just get a singer, right? Back in the day. But there's 2 albums, Firewind and Earthquake. Get those 2 albums. And he's like, you can see where Yngwie and all these guys came from, but if you mixed Jimi Hendrix and a ripping classical like Paganini together, you'd have Uli Roth. He's in the band The Scorpions, one of the first guitar players in the band The Scorpions, but the most melodic, killer phrasing. But point being, he has this thing called the Sky guitar, and it's like 400 frets and like 8 strings. So check him out. He's amazing. But back in the day, those 2 albums just had the old like big headstock Strat. You won't believe how melodic and awesome this freaking dude is on guitar. Check him out. Again, the singing, you got to get past it. It is Yoda, a drunk Yoda that is just has no business singing. But the guitar playing is amazing. All right, so let's try this one more time. Let's get on to another lick.